Good morning, everyone. I'm seeing we're getting more and more participants in already. It's 10 o'clock, and I'll be happy and proud to be the host for my colleague Dennis today from our webinar, Digital IT Trading Without Borders from IT Scope. I wish you a warm welcome this morning. And yeah, it's absolutely great to see having our first webinar at IT Scope for our international customers or even our German customers who like to engage in international trading with the help of our platform. I'd like to give you a short overview of what we'll be doing and showing you today. So, of course, we'd like to introduce ourselves in the next few minutes, so you know who's taking our time today. My colleague Dennis will then show you what IT Scope is currently doing in an international perspective and might be doing in the future for you. Of course, we will show you what our platform can do and how we can improve your business internationally. And we're not just telling you about it, we're even going to show you that. So Dennis is going to demonstrate our platform in action. Of course, we also saved some room for your questions and discussions. So we'll be happy to do this even on an international base. We're on the brink of European elections on Sunday, and it's great to have so many nationalities today in this webinar. So let's start with a short introduction of ourselves. So my name is Frederick. I'm a General Sales Manager at IT Scope, responsible for the German market, for suppliers and corporate customers. And I'll be very happy to assist my beloved colleague Dennis, who is the main attraction of today. Dennis, welcome.
Yeah, hello and welcome also from my side. I changed my style a bit, but I'm still Dennis Werner, International Channel Development Manager of IT Scope. That is a long title, but simply means I'm responsible for the international development of IT Scope, and I'm your first contact when your mother language is not German. And yeah, I will be showing you today a bit the insights of international trade in IT Scope and give you insight into the platform. Yeah, before we get started, we would like to ask you a little question, and we would be happy if you participate with us.
So we like to do it a little interactively, so you keep following us. What would really interest us if you are already purchased internationally? So I hope you might see a question already. I see this is looking very good. Thank you, very active. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. This is looking good. This is ready. Yeah. Our customers who already purchase internationally, 20% who already want to, and some who don't. Maybe we can convince this 13% who don't already today.
Okay, quite interesting. Thank you very much for your participation. Yeah, about IT Scope, I give you a short time to read these few words here. It's quite a good definition of IT Scope. Yeah, so to explain you, IT Scope is the place where three parties should come together, the IT traders, IT distributors, and also your B2B customers. And on IT Scope, we are not just a platform to compare prices. We also offer you some future-orientated tools and automatization in the trading, in purchasing and sales for more business for you worldwide. Yeah, to give you some insights of IT Scope, what is going on internationally already. At the moment, we have around 8,500 users of IT Scope. Around 1,300 of them are outside of Germany. We have 350 around distributors. Around 100 of them are also outside of Germany. And of course, we also have manufacturers working with our platform. But this webinar is not focused that much on manufacturers. If you are a manufacturer and you want to learn what are your benefits of using IT Scope, I recommend afterwards you contact me and I will definitely show you individually how you can benefit from our platform. Yeah. The first thing I would like to mention, IT scope has real-time data. To give you an example of what that means, let's say you are searching a product, you want to buy a product. This product is everywhere where you could buy it sold out, not available. Then you spread your arms out a bit wider, maybe to other countries. Then first of all, you will have the problem to find out, okay, how can I find a company which is dealing with IT equipment? Is that really an IT distributor? After that, you have to find out, okay, is he willing to sell to me? If he's willing to sell to you, then you can find out if he even has stock on this item and if the pricing is fine. And on IT scope, we do that a bit the other way around. So that means you search an item in IT scope, and then you find immediately available prices and stock. And you can order from a lot of different distributors worldwide. Yeah, IT Scope is a multilingual platform. That doesn't mean only you can change the language of your platform for yourself. It also means it makes your company multilingual, because the information we provide on IT Scope can be shared also in other languages. So that gives you a big advantage in order to cross borders without even being able to communicate that much with your customers. IT Scope is a future-ready platform. We continuously updating our platform, and we speak with our customers in a regular base. We make interviews in order to find out the needs of our customers, and hereby I would also like to invite you to communicate with us, and then together we can always develop a greater product. IT Scope is a centralized trading platform. That means all the fields of trading are inside IT Scope, and also a lot of different distributors. I know there are a lot of distributors or also resellers offering nowadays web shops and offering products. And also there are a lot of tools out there, and probably you have already a long list of password and login details for different shops and tools. But on IT Scope, you find everything in one. Yeah. Then coming to our tools. So we separate our platform in procurement and sales. I start with the procurement side. So first of all, we have, of course, our catalog. At the moment, it's featuring over 7 million IT-related products. From there, of course, you can make a price comparison and find different distributors with their price and availabilities. But on top, what you can do is you can connect accounts. For example, if you find a distributor in the platform who you already work with and you have a login for him, then you can also get your individual prices in IT Scope. And the prices you see on IT Scope, by the way, are the one-to-one prices. So you would get the same price in the distribution as you get it in IT Scope. We don't put any hidden margins or anything on top. Once you did that, of course, you can order from the distributors via IT Scope, and the order will be routed directly to the distributor. So if you have, for example, bonus agreements with somebody, or you have kickbacks, then the orders from IT Scope are also relevant for this. If you have a bigger purchasing team, you can also set different approval processes or order limits for your team if you have different levels of purchases. And in a higher level of integration, you can integrate the catalog of IT Scope, for example, in your ERP system, in order to see product information, prices, and availabilities. And the highest level of procurement is if you integrate also via the order API. So that means you can order directly from your ERP system from 350 different distributors in IT Scope. That gives you, of course, a big advantage in saving time and money, because you only need to make one connection to IT Scope instead of making several different connections to several distributors. Yeah, the sales side, of course, starts also with the catalog. The catalog is always the base of everything. Then on the item page, you find also easily cross-selling and upselling items, matching items to the item you're watching right now. But also, if your customer is not happy with the item you offer, it's quite flexible with some filters to find good alternatives for items to offer. The base of sales then is also a price calculation. So based on the purchasing price you receive in IT scope, you can make several different calculations, and those calculations will be shown in the digital quotes. So you can make digital quotations, send them to your customers and negotiate live with them. In an advanced level, we also offer customized B2B shops online based on IT scope technology. I will demonstrate that later to you. And you can create bundles and own products and services, for example, installation fees, or if you have a manufacturer you're working with, let's say you want to be Microsoft Silver Partner or whatever, then maybe it makes sense to create bundles and bundle products together in order to reach your sales targets. And last but not least, we also offer shop integrations to different shop systems. Together in the international area, we work with our content partner OneWorldSync and offer you their solution in order to get product content, prices, and availabilities directly from IT scope. Okay, now would come the point where I show you the platform, but before we would like you to participate again, and we have another question for you.
All right. So for those of you who are already using IT Scope, we are very interested how many suppliers you already have found on IT Scope that you are currently working with, or maybe you're missing some. So we'll be happy if you get them to us, because we are open for everyone. Well, but we're getting a good picture. Seems Dennis has been doing a good work getting the relevant suppliers on board. So we have about 40% who have even more than 10 suppliers they already work with, around 5 to 10 with 25%. But there's still a little room to improvement. So we'll leave it open for a few seconds till we have everything in. This is looking good. Thank you very much for your participation. So it's 50-50, Dennis. So
okay,
we still get some more suppliers on board, maybe.
Yeah, or you just didn't know before what you can find on IT Scope. Let's see. So I log in into IT Scope and find myself on the dashboard. And then, once you're on the dashboard, the most important button internationally is, of course, down here at the left. You switch the language, and I will switch it now to English so that you can understand everything again. And I think that is quite well about IT Scope. Everything, the words are quite easy, and everything is quite self-explaining. So on the dashboard, you find the main functionalities and also already 2 search fields. So if you're searching for a product, you can either search the search field here and then enter, you can enter different things. For example, a manufacturer SKU, other SKUs you have EIN codes, but you can also work with some keywords. I would like to take this example with a switch. So if I enter, for example, 8-port gigabit unmanaged PoE, then we have some different requirements on a switch. And if I enter it here now, switch. If I enter it here now, I find some relevant items for this already. But what I'm going to do now is I go to the product page, and here I found now the most populars because I choose it. Also, there's best offers chosen by different specifications, and my preferences, sadly, in my case, it's not filled as I'm not buying yet in IT Scope. So I enter now this iPad. And I see here already on top at the left, first of all, the main specs, the most important things. And I see the cheapest source of supply for myself. I see a calculated price. I will come later back to it and tell you where it comes from, a picture and some enhanced functionalities. And here I would like to show you a little hack already in your international trade. So you see now the platform is in English. Here you have different possibilities. For example, you can download a product data sheet, and let's say you have a customer in Italy. You notice his English is not so well. He wants to buy an iPad, but he's not really sure if this is the right item for him. What you can do then is a little hack. You just switch the platform to Italian language, and then your Italian don't needs to be that good, but you can download then the PDF data sheet in Italian language. Show you that quickly. So yeah, I guess that might be Italian language here. And by the way, if you are using a sales version of IT Scope, then here on top at the right, where you see now a little computer symbol, there can be also your company symbol, which makes this item more associated to you. So it kind of more trustful for your customers. They think, okay, you really know well about this item. This item is really your item. Okay, then I switch back my platform to English here. We have some more possibilities. For example, we can see the data sheet of the manufacturer, which is quite a bit tricky because manufacturers have different parameters, how they show their data sheets. So if I would search now for a Samsung tablet, it would not have the same specifications at the end. The IT Scope data sheets have the same specs, and so you can really compare it here. Yeah, then we come to the first really big point. It's the sources of supply. At first, I have it grouped here by availability, but let's see, we can also make by country of origin of the distributor. Of course, Germany is still the biggest offer, but then we also have some offers from other countries. Yeah, and it's continuously growing, so that is quite good to see. Make it back to availability to show you again. Yeah, here you see now the stock and the price. By the way, the price you see here with excluded costs. That costs are, for example, transport costs, but you can just make a configuration and put it inside, and then you see the list looks different. And if you go down a bit, you see also some distributors don't show you stock. The reason for this is they show only individual prices for their customers. And if you have more often some distributors you find on items you're interested in and you don't find the price, then you can set up this distributor. That is really an important step to do on IT Scope, because IT Scope is kind of also partner based. So if you have already an account with them, you can just enter it here. If not, you have contact data on top, and you can ask them, you can write to them or call them and tell them, hey, I found you on IT Scope and I would like to buy more often from you. Can you provide me some details for the price list? So you can add them to your network, enter your customer data, and you will get credentials for the functionalities available. I recommend in general to check our distributors. First, you can see them here, but we also have a little guide link where I switch it to English quickly, where you can see an overview of all the suppliers and the e-services. And here, if you can see, they have individual price list. You can get an account with them in order to receive other prices. So to give you an example, Forcom, I know they have general price list they share. So this is a general price, but they also have individual prices. If I go here to the distributor, I see price list available. So he has also individual prices available. And I guess if the general price he shares in IT Scope is like, yeah, I think it's around 10% higher than the cheapest price. Probably individual prices come quite close to the cheapest price on top. So that is quite important to do, I would say. Yeah, later on, we also provide some street prices, sadly in this moment only for Germany, so it's not that interesting. Maybe sometimes you can have a little look for your calculation. So you see if your price you calculate is higher then somebody can buy, for example, from eBay or Amazon in Germany, then you know you're quite too high. We provide different sources of technical data. We collect our own data together with the distributors. We have iSCAD data and OneWorksync data. That is quite complete. Why we do that, it might be a bit confusing that here are a lot of choices. The reason is that different supplies of content have different parameters. So it can be, for example, that some extras of the dimension are in iSCAD or not in OneWorksync or the other way around. So that could happen. Yeah, down this also quite interesting. We have some history about the items. So we collect some data. I hope it's big enough for you to see. We have here, for example, the distributors with available stock, back orders, and not available. By the way, green, yellow, red. You also see a lot of times a stripe in IT scope with green, yellow, red. It's always with this meaning. And you see in black the sales price trend, and also how this developed. So for example, this item here has a drop down end of April. And if you remember it, or if you noticed, end of April was the release of the new iPad. So the price dropped down, but it still sold well, and then the price go up again. So probably it's still a good item for this value. For example, Chinese New Year is also a good example. Then the stock always goes down and the price goes high. You can see that well here in the history. The product click history shows how often this product is clicked per week on our platform. So it also gives you quite a good overview of how popular this item is in general. And then we have some description here. It's more about how you find it also in other web shops, more how the manufacturer would describe his product. Some marketing text, for example, we maybe wouldn't look first at all of inside the chip, but of course Apple always takes out the advantages of the chip, which is very important sales argument for them. So you can also find it here. And later on, for your cross sales, or you want to have something on top, we have also compatible accessories and original accessories. So you can buy, for example, cables on top, cameras, iPad. It makes sense to have some cover. You will find that all here. And as I described before, you see here the stripe with availability. So you can have a quick overview of how this item is in the market. Okay, that's so far the item page. The next thing I would like to show you is product categories, which could be also quite interesting for you because here we have the categories of items, and different categories might have some market specific requirements. I regularly get asked this question. For example, notebooks. If you click on notebooks, first of all, you will of course find all the German notebooks. And we all know, for example, in France, they have a different notebook layout. You find here already some interesting filters to find the right item. But here, this button is quite important and maybe a bit hidden. It's more filters, and in more filters you find the keyboard layout. And ACERTI, as I know, is the French keyboard layout, and then you find all the French notebooks. For example, here the Surface laptop. You see here now keyboard is in French, and you can buy it from a French distribution company. So just shortly, the collections is for regular repeating collections you have on items. I made this example. Let's say you are an IT reseller and you have a customer. When he has a new employee, he always needs the same items. He first of all needs a laptop. On top of that, he needs a docking station. He needs 2 HDMI cables and, of course, a monitor to see something, and a keyboard and mouse set. From this, you can then make quickly actions such as generate quotes or copy it to the card. I will copy it to the card. And to show you here, now you have the possibility to use different cards. That is an advanced functionality, so available from IT Scope Procurement Advanced. You can have different shopping carts, and then on top you can have different selections or different limits for your purchases. I will just add it now to my general card. And then we're coming to the purchasing board. Here we have now an order for 2 different distributors at the moment. Yeah, you can then, as an advanced functionality, also make an optimization of your shopping cart. That is quite interesting. For example, you can see here the best price. If you click here, okay, first of all, you have 4 different orders, and in 2 distributors, they are marked red here. You are not registered yet. So you should think about, should I register right now or not? If the difference is maybe 100 euro or something, it could make sense. Otherwise, you can click on best price in your partners and you pay 1.88 euro more, which is probably quite fine, but then you still have 3 orders. And in international trade, a lot of times it's not so good to have different orders from different distributors, because first of all, you want to avoid shipping costs. And second is maybe you want to reach your sales targets in a distribution in order to receive next year best price or something. And what we have then available, okay, in this example, it's not that well. It's here's the difference is plus 60 euros. But if I click on this button, I only have one source of supply, so one distributor, and I can order everything together from one distribution. You have to check if you have, for example, 10 different distributions, and you see here the extra cost is 840 for each order. So we would be at 84 euros, but the difference for minimum sources is just 54 euros more. You would save already some cost. Now, once you're fine with what you've selected, then you can place the order here. What I will not do right now, because I have no need right now for a Lenovo notebook at home. So I will just complete this order elsewhere. And then I come to the order overview. This is also quite interesting for your purchasing, because here you will notice, first of all, when the distributor accepts the order, when he confirms it, if available, he will also share some shipping details here with you. And at the end, you will get some invoice information, which you can use, for example, for your RMA if there's something happening. Yeah, so that is so far the side of e-procurement. I will now come to the digital sales. And as I told you before in my presentation, I will start with the price calculation, which is the base then afterwards for quotes. So the price calculation is always built up in certain fields. So you first of all can choose a manufacturer, a supplier, and a product type. In this case, this is my general configuration. So I have any supplier, any manufacturer, and any product type, and I've chosen here those limits. So if an item has a value starting from 0 euros, it's 30%, 500 euro, 25, and so on. What can happen is, let's say you have an agreement with, I had in my presentation Lenovo. So let's say you are a Lenovo partner and you want to push those items, so you can select a Lenovo. We have a notebook inside, so you can even go down by product type. And what you could also do, if you have an agreement with a supplier, you can even choose the supplier and then generate a different price calculation than your general calculation for this. So I have now here the same, my standard calculation behind. But let's say I want to have it a bit less. I change here the numbers, and okay, 10% is maybe a bit too much, but from 1,000 euro I can choose 10%, and I even can make the limits here different. So I can choose, for example, 2,500 euros and make it 8%. And so I have now a different margin on Lenovo. I will quickly jump back to my collection in order to make an offer out of this. Yeah, so I create the offer, and as you see right now, as I set it up before, the Lenovo notebook has now a margin of 10%. You can now do here different things, such as you can say, okay, 1,669.82 is not a very nice price to display, so I make it 1,700 euro. And then the price will be changed at 1,700 euro, or you say you want to have 15% margin, so you can also change that. On top, you can attach the data sheets as I showed you before. By the way, the data sheets here are also available in different languages. You can make some items optional, for example. You can let your customer edit quantities. You can also make items optional and select them already, because if items are optional first, they are not relevant for the amount at the end. Yeah, and then you can choose also tax rates. We have a lot of different tax rates from different countries inside. In this case, yeah, I will choose no tax at the moment. Let's say it's a B2B sales, and it's in between cross countries, so you have no VAT. Yeah, once you're fine with everything, you make a validity. Let's say you make it 2 weeks, and then you can send it to your customer. By the way, here the email also again available in different languages, and then you just send out the email to your customer, and what he receives looks like this. So here you have now the quotation, you have a link to your offer. Once the customer clicks this link, there's a follow-up, so you will receive an email, and you will note that your customer saws the offer, so you can contact him again. You know, he knows what you're talking about when you want to speak about his offer. He can see the data sheet, he can select items which are optional, and he can also edit the quantities when you select this before. And then once he's fine with everything, he can click on buy. Then you will receive a notification and the order can be done. So here now you see this offer is accepted, and I can put this quote back to my cart, and then I'm back on the purchasing side. Okay, the next point is also a sales advanced functionality. So what we offer is in the sales advanced, we offer 25 customer shops based on the IT scope technology. I show you that quickly. Just a little deep dive into the setup, so you can make different calculations on the setting, which should be the URL, how it should look like, the appearance, colors you can change. Of course, you have to add your suppliers. Then you can define some order conditions, such as also the shipping costs, for example, the price calculation. Behind this will be first the price calculation you set up before, your general price calculation, but based on what I explained to you before, you can also make new calculation. You can set up how the category tree should look like in your shop. And then, of course, you can select items. In my example, I've just chosen notebooks and notebook accessories. So I wanted to have a customer shop for notebooks. In the customer groups, you can also choose some things of appearance. For example, what you can do is you can show only one general stock, but what I made here is I've chosen 3 different suppliers and give them a different name. Because of course I don't want to let my customer know where I buy. And why I did that, why I did 3 different sources, because a lot of companies, they have the internal purchasing rule that they need 3 different offers in order to be able to order an item from somebody. And here they have 3 different offers, but still at the end of the day, there will be your margin on top, so they will order from you. Yeah, after you invited your customers and they start to order, we also show quite a nice overview of what is going on inside your customer portals, and you will get an overview of the statistics of your portal. I show you quickly the portal I built up. Yeah, so once your customer is logged in, he will come to this. Looks maybe a bit familiar to you as it is based on IT scope technology. We have here now 3 different suppliers. The cheapest one is B, then C, then A, and 3 different stocks. And we can also see data sheet again. Yeah, by the way, what is also quite interesting for you is this portal can be used also for your cross sales. So in my profile, oh, sorry, I am not at the shop. So here in the profile, you can just set up different languages. So for example, you can sell to French customers. If you don't have anybody who speaks French, you only have to acquire one time the customer, and all the sales process can be then done by the portal. And afterwards, when the customer orders here inside the portal, your order will be again inside incoming orders. And from here, you can put it again to your purchasing board. So again, the process of procurement would start. Okay, two more little things I would like to mention is is the product designer. So here you can create bundles and custom products. Bundles, I made here this example also of Lenovo. So let's say you are a Lenovo partner and you want to push the sales of Lenovo items, then it probably makes sense that you create a bundle with several different Lenovo items inside. You can search them from the catalog and then put here, and you can also make custom products such as installation fees. Those items will then appear also inside your quotes and your customer portals. Then the export functionality, as I explained before, exports are always possible. So almost all the information you receive in IT Scope, you can also export and then put into your ERP system or any third-party system, but that is something else. If you want to learn more about that, I recommend you contact me, and then I will show you that individually about your case. Okay, that's so far from the platform. So now we have some time to address your questions. If you want, you can come in discussion with us. Frederick, I look forward to hear what questions are there outside.
Yes, thank you very much, Dennis. I mean, I think you answered quite a lot of questions. I learn every time I learn something new when you're showing IT Scope. So thanks again for that. And the first questions are already popping in. Let's just quickly see. All right. So what is the entry-level version of IT Scope and how much does it cost, Dennis?
Of course, it always depends what you want to do. We separate into digital sales and procurement. So we have sales versions and procurement versions. The entry-level versions are on the one side in the procurement, procure essential version. This includes the catalog, the possibility to purchase, first of all. So that is the one entry level for 49 euros per month. And on the sales version, we have already included the digital quotation tool and the price calculation, and this is starting from 59 euros per month.
Thank you. Thank you. Okay, so we have a question here. Are we able to also sell used or refurbished devices? Do we show that on the platform?
Yeah, we have a possibility to share used and second-hand refurbished items, but it's not that developed yet. We are working on that at the moment, but definitely refurbished used items is a field of the future, and we are quite interested to develop this field as quick as possible.
Perfect. Thank you, Dennis. Okay, what else do we have? From your experience, would you say is IT Scope more for small businesses or also for larger enterprises? I mean, you're getting in touch with a customer.
Yeah, quite an interesting question. I would say it's quite for everybody. In other countries, I make the experience. I come often in touch with one-man shows, I would say, and of course with all the different tools you have in IT scope, like I showed you the customer portals, but also the quotation tool. It saves you quite a lot of time, so you can handle quite a good running business already with one person. But of course, bigger companies also have their advantages on IT scope. Like I mentioned, for example, in the procurement, you can define different levels of purchases with different processes, so that is all possible in IT scope. I wouldn't say there's any limitation in IT scope is only for small or big companies.
Yeah, thank you very much. That's an interesting one here. What about direct deliveries? Do we have the possibility of drop shipment from a distributor?
Yeah, I
Also
thought already
EU-wide.
it's going into this direction. Yeah, it depends always on the distributor. We have quite a lot of distributors offering direct shipments or drop shipments to your customers. Base is, of course, always if they are delivering to you, and if they're delivering to you from another country, then they offer drop shipments, then they for sure also offer shipments to other addresses. So that shouldn't be a problem.
So you showed us that we have a lot of information on IT scope. Is it also possible to get this information outside of IT scope, maybe as an Excel download or something like that? Also with prices and stock?
Yes, that is possible. So you can make exports. Based on your product selection, you will receive either a CSV file, or there are other files possible, such as JSON, for example. You can export data and then receive it as a list. But what is, of course, also possible to connect an API with IT scope, and then you don't only have the possibility to get our catalog, you on top have the possibility at the end of the day to make an order API connection.
Really sure if it's just that's me. Cool. Thank you, Dennis. One more question. So if you want to see all suppliers on IT scope, does it cost more? Does it cost less?
Yeah, good question. Maybe I share quickly the platform again to you. So if you want to see all suppliers, I just choose now an item. And then we have here, first of all suppliers who deliver to me, but you can also see all suppliers if you just want to make a price comparison. That could be, for example, also interesting for for manufacturers if they just want to see what's going on in the market.
I think we have time for one more question. The iSCAD and OneWorld sync data, is it already included in the entry-level pricing?
No, actually not. So if you have a shop system, for example, you have to buy a content package on top. We offer content packages on IT products, and in the international area, we sell the ones of OneWorld Sync. The first one, the entry level is IT Scope OneWorld Sync Basic for 109 euros per month.
All right, I think we can handle one more, can't we?
Yeah, we can, I would say, yeah.
So if we want to place an order on IT scope, do you have a contract with the distributor, or can you order directly from a distributor?
If I understand this question right, then it's a bit different. The contract is in between you and the distributor. So the sales contract is in between you and the distributor. We are not the seller of the item. The business is always in between you and the distributor. Of course, we also have a contract with the distributor, but that is not your sales contract.
All right. One last question. Huh? Okay.
Okay.
Can we integrate the shop you showed us? Is it possible to integrate that in an own shop, or do we offer something for a normal web shop?
We offer integrations into normal web shops, but yeah, the web shop we offer by ourselves is behind a login. So what you can do is you can use your own URL, that's possible, and link that, of course, to your homepage. But to integrate into another shop, I think it wouldn't make sense. Then you can use another shop integration we also offer.
Perfect. All right, ladies and gentlemen, and everyone in between. Before you leave us, of course, we would like to thank you. But we have one more question for you. So if you want to see my lovely colleague Dennis again, then just tell us if you want him to get in touch with you, and we'll do that as soon as possible. Or if you want to contact us later. I hope you enjoyed our webinar, but the last word, of course, has Dennis.
Yeah, thank you, of course, also from my side. I hope I could give you some interesting insights today, and you learned some interesting things for your international business. IT Scope is not only interesting to purchase internationally, you can also, as a reseller, for example, spread out more far. And yeah, the target at the end of the day is to cross borders. Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you for joining. Have a good day.